Hello, Toriel. This is you reporting in from Ohio. You are at Gary and Lori's right now for Thanksgiving. It's been a crazy week, 2 weeks, month, 7 months. Okay, shut up. Alright, let's just try to figure out what has even happened in your life. Okay, we left off in Wyoming, right? Got the fan clutch.
There we go, one fan clutch.
And this is what we've been waiting like 5 days for.
This is why, as nice as Casper, Wyoming, or Alcova, Wyoming actually is, and it has been beautiful, the whole reason we've been here for this long is so that we can go climb a mountain with the van.
Michael tries to install the fan clutch, and he cannot. There's no room under the hood. He couldn't get his hex wrench in there to remove everything, and it was super frustrating. So got the fan clutch, couldn't install it. You left off with your last video entry getting stuck in Wyoming at a rest stop. The diesel was gelled because of the cold. Discovered water was in the fuel filter and it froze overnight and stuff. While trying to get the van to start during all this, the key breaks. Michael finally got the van started with a pair of scissors because half of the key was still inside of the ignition. But we couldn't manage that way for long because that means we could never leave the van because we can't lock we can lock the van from inside, but that means we'd never be able to unlock it, and we can't really leave it unattended because, people be thieving. We had no choice but to drive to Mercedes. No one can do the key besides Mercedes because they are evil. We make it to a Mercedes near Salt Lake. They say it'll take about 4 days for the key to come in. We managed to drive to the Bonneville Salt Flats with our scissor key and thing.
You having fun?
No.
No? This isn't fun? This isn't your definition of fun? Universal key.
I don't think anyone's gonna want to steal stuff out of here anyways. It looks horrible.
Yeah, this is like a bomb went off. The bomb was full of tools that had to be used, and they were all in a box, and the box died, so...
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Mercedes. We camp around there while we're waiting. And Michael tries to put the fan clutch in. We went to a store and got a shorty hex wrench so that he could hopefully get that in. There was barely enough space. But as always with our van, the moment you get one small victory, the next thing you have to do doesn't work. He still can't get the fan clutch in unless he disassembled the entire front of the van. He was willing to do that, however, he couldn't even do it because he needed even more tools because nothing is normal with this van. He needed a huge size hex wrench, and he just couldn't justify buying all these tools. And already we have no room for them. This is ridiculous. Monday finally comes. We are so eager to get going and get the key for the van and get out of there. Mercedes does call to say that the key did come in, but they do no service on Mondays. Okay. So while we're all packed up and ready to go, then we find out we have to wait another day. Finally, Tuesday, we drive the 2 hours back into town. We shower at Love's and drive to Mercedes. Where is it? There she is. We here at Mercedes. Love and life. So funny. The total for one key so we can start our van is $573.52. And we did ask them, like, can you cut some individual keys, at least one, so that we can have an extra key for, it won't start the van, but it'll unlock a door, you know, just in case, so we don't have that issue again. And they refuse. We need to move on. So we drive down to Cedar City, which was our old stomping grounds back when we lived in Utah. And we park overnight at another Love's. In the morning, the van won't start again. There's still that water in the fuel filter, and it freezes at night because it's cold there. So we're stuck at Love's for a while, like heating it up, driving around buying that stuff that's supposed to burn out the water. We finally get it warmed up and started. We restock and try to figure out what to do. Michael gets a hold of Matt's repairer, and he says he can look at it the next day. He lets us park and sleep at his shop that night. This is our luxury suite.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but there's the van. We've been sleeping at the mechanics. Who knows how much this will record. And then in the morning, they check it out because they couldn't even get the van started again to even bring it over to look at it. And in the meantime, find out that the van does not have a water fuel separator, which is supposed to take care of all that water, and the van just doesn't have one. Of course. Okay, they tear apart the van, and they find all sorts of different vehicle parts inside. And then they find out that the fan clutch that we got, which is supposed to be for this van, it is not compatible with the current fan that's in there, which is some janky thing. Who knows what the heck even happened. So, all that 5-day waiting we did in Wyoming for this stupid fan clutch is all a waste. Now we need to order a whole new fan, and that takes another day. So we're stuck there again. Finally, it's done. Okay, happy day. Everything should be okay now, right? So to celebrate, we drive to Coral Pink Sand Dunes State Park. We get there late at night, so we park at a campground near there. And it's just like night and day experience. So happy to be back in the wild. We get to have a fire, open up the van and have cold, fresh air pouring in. We get up in the morning and head to the dunes. We have so much fun rolling around in the sand. But then we're like, well, we are supposed to get to Ohio, so let's start our trip, because we were supposed to be in Ohio for Thanksgiving. We get 20 minutes down the road. I'm driving the van, Michael's driving the car, and I hear something pop in the van, and then I lose power. And we're like, that's it. We get out and see oil. Oil is covering the ground underneath us, and it's just so much oil. And, we're like, well, pretty sure it was the head gasket. Oh my gosh, that was just the worst experience driving the van in here. And I'm like, I don't understand, because we've been so careful watching the heat, the gauge to make sure the van doesn't overheat, and it was doing fine. It was just a little over 180. It was in the safe area, and I had no warning that this was going to happen. So we think the van is done in this moment. And this was a very sad moment for me, just watching my home get towed. So we get to this mechanics, and it's the weekend, so we have to wait until Monday to even talk to the dude. We live at a mechanics again. That was the longest weekend, just waiting and thinking the van was over. Monday finally comes. He has his theories about what's happening, but it's Thanksgiving week and they're off, and parts are just taking forever to come anywhere. Parts are just shipping, and everything just takes forever for anything. So as always, it's a waiting game. So we take the car and we pack up a couple things and we drive to Ohio. And now we're just waiting again. waiting till Monday to hear what they say. See if it's going to be a couple more weeks, or see if it's ready and we can head back, or if it's toast. I just don't know.